Well, all right, let's go to the word. Let's go to the Gospel of Luke. The Gospel of Luke. I want to go to chapter 15. Luke chapter 15. Last time we were together, as it were, we were talking about what we know as the prodigal son. Well, I want to deal with that other one. Luke 15:29 reads as follows. So he answered and said to his father, Lo, these many years I have been serving you. I never transgressed your commandment at any time. And yet you never gave me a young goat that I might make merry with my friends. Go ahead and take your seats. Contextually, Luke 15:11-32, again, Yeshua is teaching the parable of the prodigal son as we know it. The parable of two sons, to be honest. Verse 25 and 32 addresses the son who is the eldest of the two sons directly. Bear in mind, again, that parables provide principle, picture, and prescription. Take note here that in verse 12, the text tells us the father divided to them his livelihood. Not just the prodigal. Somebody say to them. This means that the older son received his portion also. However, he decided to remain with his father. If you would, let's call the older son the perennial son. Perennial meaning the lasting and enduring son, present in all seasons. Or was he? Follow with me, verse 25-27. The Messiah teaches the perennial was in the field. Somebody say he was in the field. He was in the field. He drew near the house. Help me, Holy Ghost. He was in the field. He drew near the house. Instead of going in, the perennial, think about this. The perennial asked the servant what was happening. Now, the son who has access, I like to slow stuff down because sometimes I think we just rush right past stuff. The son asks the servant what's going on in his father's house. No, go look at the text right now. I just want to, right here, I have way more than this, but I just want y'all to think about that this son, the perennial son, present in all seasons, him, because I've been here. He says to a servant, what's going on in there? Y'all know how sometimes when a party's going on, you get to think about going, but some of us ask, who all in there? It ain't that I don't want to be in the gathering, but it does matter who in there, because sir, you know what I'm saying? Because Uncle so and so there, Auntie so and so, cousin so and so. Don't act like you don't do it. You might not say it out loud. But you ask the one cousin that go to everything so that you can still be in good standing with the family. I just couldn't make it. Because you found out whoever it was there and you didn't want to be no part of it. So this is the degree of what this perennial son is doing. Like, what's going on? The servant reports that the father's feast is because of the prodigal's return. Watch this. Recognition reveals resentment. Boy. Let me say it again. I say recognition reveals resentment. Verse 28 reveals that the perennial son was angry and refused to go in. Let's unpack that. His anger grew to acrimony. And then it grew to avoidance, and it grew to all-out absence. Acrimony, by the way, just to be clear, is deep-seated bitterness. This resentfulness is often a result of envy. Let me get Proverbs real quick. Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 30 says this: a sound heart is life to the body. Here's the part But envy, somebody say, but envy. But envy is rottenness to the bones. That's some strong language, you hear me? I say this rottenness is rotten to the bone. It rots to the bone. The perennial son reveals, watch this, a pharisaical posture. Pharisaical means hypocritical, self-righteous. It's a performative behavior. It masks judgmentalism with sanctimonious posing. It's outward symbolists, the people who look the part, act the part, but inwardly there's something going on. Boy, I've seen this way too many times than I care to admit in church. Folks always, too many folk acting like they're holier than thou. Like if we don't go in your closet and find them skeletons. Are you hearing what I'm saying? As if you didn't come out of darkness into his marvelous light. I always like to say this when I'm dealing with topics like this. If you confess salvation and you have the slightest notion that people cannot change, I'm going to ask you, how did you get here? How does that work exactly? If no one can change, because I've heard it said something, people don't change. Well, if people don't change, explain yourself. Unless you're not claiming salvation. Now, if you're not claiming salvation, then we can move on. But if you're claiming salvation, then people don't. Are you people? Because if you're not people, then I need to have a different discussion. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So people will act as if there are people who act, especially, it seems to me from my experience, especially people that have been in the way for a long time. They've been around for a long time, and so they've seen the ins and outs of church. They see who's consistent in attendance. And they see the people who are inconsistent in attendance, don't know nothing about their home life. Because, we don't actually have conversations. We come to church, we hug our wall, we sit by the people we like, and, and we do that half smile by people we don't. Y'all ain't got to tell me the truth. It's okay. I already know. You know what I'm saying? You'll shake their head, but you'll be like, you'll keep it moving. You're smiling because you know I'm telling the truth, right? So we do that, don't we? It's crazy. I'm not talking about like you're going to get along with everybody. Everybody going to be buddied up, so to speak. You ought to get along with everybody, right? Be peaceable with all, man. That's word. As much as it be possible. So, but some of us act like if folks ain't what we think they ought to be, and where they ought to be, then we don't want no parts of them. Here he come again. I'm gonna talk about the bitter brother, cause I'm gonna talk about the perennial, cause I don't wanna get on nobody's nerve. The perennial brother, like, here he come. Look at this one right here. Done ran out and wasted everything. Soon as he come back, he'll go to church. Church happy to say, oh, brother, how you doing? Ain't nobody said brother to me, because you mean mug every time you're around. But that's another story for another day, right? You don't want to be bothered with nobody. But then when folks ain't, or pay attention to somebody else, rightfully so, then all of a sudden you in your feelings. I'm not talking about nobody. I'm talking about the perennial. Come back over here in this here text. But the perennial son reveals a pharisaical posture. This is what we don't realize, what bitterness and hypocrisy and self-righteousness really does. It makes you a modern-day Pharisee is what it makes you. Right? So, also what being pharisaical does is it exposes a superiority complex. As well as a lack of mercy. So we have outward semblance, but we have inward vanity. We have outward semblance. You look the part, but inside, there's some venomous vanity going on. Who they think they are. I would never. Man, look, I'm so tempted to go down that vein and just stomp all over them self-righteous, super religious folk, but I'm going to just leave them be and talk about this perennial. This perennial son. So again in verse 28, the perennial son would not go in. It's crazy. Therefore his father came out and pleaded with him. Hold on, wait a minute. Here we go again, where the father is coming away of a son. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So he saw one son coming from a distance, and he went to him. Right? He saw another son, somebody say in the distance. Remember, the son didn't leave now. He didn't leave, but he was still distant. He was right there and still distant. So he saw this son in the distance as well. And the text says he came out to greet him. He came out and pleaded with him. Let me be true to the text. He came out and started pleading with his son. See, some of us don't understand that the Father will come and plead with us to get right. Like, you know the way that you're behaving isn't the way that you should behave as a son. Now, I know you're thinking about your service time. I know that you got some things going in your mind about what your brethren have done, but I'm going to need you to get your mind right. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Listen close. Reception of the recent isn't rejection of the recurrent. I said reception of the recent isn't rejection of the recurrent. Let's break that down. The perennial submits his resume. I stayed. I served. I was submissive. I did all of your commandments, liar. You know how I can tell you didn't do all his commandments? Because, boy, covetousness is breathing out your pores. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It is seeping out your pores. It is evident that you got some issues. Truth be told, you got some issues with your father. It's more obvious that you got issues with your brother. But the truth is you have issues with your father because you won't come where your father is. See, you think it's an issue with your brother because of how they acted, but it's really an issue with you because you won't come to what the father had to come get you. And quiet as it kept, I say this again, you did not find the father. I promise you, he was not lost. Somebody say, he found me. Somebody say, in the field. Boy, y'all excuse me. It may be simple, but it's teaching me. It's teaching me. So I stayed. I served. I surrendered. I was submissive all these years. I don't know if he talked. Here's the issue. Where's my reception? Ain't nobody celebrating me. What do you say to text? I never. You know how we exaggerate stuff when our feelings hurt. I never. Is that what you were looking for? Is that what you wanted? You wanted to make merry with your friends. You wanted somebody to celebrate you, didn't you? All right. But where's my reception? This is what he says. Soon as this son of yours came. You know how we talk, boy. Soon as this, boy, he ain't even my brother no more. This son of yours came. Soon as this joker came, presto, feast. I've been here all this time. I've been in this field at fault. I've been in this field all this time, serving you faithfully. Here come this joker right here. Your son, this your son. Here he come. And as soon as he comes around, presto, feast. Quiet as it's kept, watch this. His resume was blinding him from right relationship with his father and his brother. He couldn't see his father rightly. And he couldn't see his brother rightly because he's too busy reading his resume. And this is why some of us can't see each other rightly. Because all we want to do is read our resume. God, I've done. Father, I've done. Lord, I've done. You done been faulty is actually what's happening. I know that's not the way that you should say it. Forgive me, my friend. I'll get it right the next go around. Maybe not. His resume was blinding him for a right relationship with his father and his brother. Watch this. Because self-righteousness and entitlement will do that. Self-righteousness, watch this. Self-righteousness makes you disappear in the mirror. I don't think you understand what I just said. I said self-righteousness makes you disappear in the mirror. In other words, you can't see yourself. And the way our bodies are built, it's naturally easier to see what's wrong with somebody than to see what's wrong with us. Because unless you got some vanity issues for real, you're not walking around with a mirror. Unless you Vanity Smurf or something like that, just, you know what I'm saying? You ain't even got no hair like that, just, anywho, but like, unless you got that kind of issue, you're not really looking, so it's easy. It's almost natural to see what's wrong with somebody else. But here's the problem. Instead of using that to help each other, we too often we use it to harm each other, to criticize each other, to say what's wrong with us, instead of helping us get better, right? Because I could go through a myriad of coulda, shouldas, and wouldas, but what happened? Why, when that brother came back, couldn't you have been happy for him? Father lets us know it's the right thing to do, to celebrate those who return. But some of us are so resentful, unless the Father comes and get us. We'll stay outside. Man, that is way heavier than I can lay down right now. We'll stay outside. Isn't it something that we'll stay away from our brethren for the sake of pride? We'll stay away from our brethren, watch this, resentful, but we'll act sanctimonious. I just can't be around them kind of believers. Who are you? I'm serious. The nerve of some of these jokers. I just can't be exposed to that kind of believer. Your little nasty attitude. Thank you for telling everybody how self-righteous you are, because I know you think that your stuff don't stink. But lean a little closer. Smell like ooh, woo, woo. Anyway, but I had to do it for just for a couple of people in the audience. A couple of people caught that and just, anyway, just a couple of people. You missed that expert after service. But are you hear what I'm saying? Watch this. Don't miss this. The perennial son was close by proximity, not posture. He was close by proximity, not posture. Being around, God help me, being around and being aligned are not the same. So a lot of us been around church, but we ain't aligned to, watch this, what the Most High says about it. We've been around it, but we've not been aligned to it. So watch this. He's around the house, but won't go in. I'm talking about this perennial son. He has access to it. I've been here. I ain't never left. I got questions. Were you ever there? Anyway, because you were in the proximity, but your posture's malfunctioning. What we have to understand is that distance takes on multiple forms. Distance takes on multiple forms. You can be in somebody's face, right? I'm talking about day after day after day after day, and be no more closer to them. You know how many people live together separately? I ain't got time. You understand what I'm saying? Some of y'all understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, it went from matrimony to a roommate situation. Well, they help pay rent. What is that? So it's not about always being in somebody's face. We talk about, now again, I believe in not, abandoning and not forsaking the assembly of the saints. I believe in that, but we can't just show up here and then be distant from each other. Right? I heard the preacher say, like, the way that you can tell a healthy church is how long they hang out after service. Right? But it's interesting to me how some folks, again, they can't stay a minute. The minute service is short, they gone. They ain't got nothing to do. You ain't got nothing to do. You ain't got nowhere to go. You just don't want to be around them folks. Because watch this. This is how we code it. I didn't come for them. I came for the Most High. So hey, help me with this one. You love the Father, but you hate his children. So you mean you love your neighbor as you love yourself? Would you leave yourself alone? Anyway, just questions. It's quiet in the Lord's church. Quiet in here, boy. What you say, told Curly, clutching my pearls. Possessions weren't the problem, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about what either son had. The possessions weren't the problem. Truth be told, proximity wasn't the problem because he's close, is he not? Posture was the problem. Comparison was the problem. Bitterness was the problem. Don't miss this. Comparison is destructive, depreciative, and divisive at the same time. I said it's destructive, it's depreciative, and it's divisive. I wasn't going to break that down, but watch this. It's destructive and it starts destroying things. Anytime you start comparing somebody, somebody's got to be greater than the other one, don't they? So it's depreciative by its nature. And it's divisive because one people going to take this side and one person going to say, take this side, right? Messiah's got on a jersey that'll solve whole arguments. A hoodie that can solve whole arguments. Who's the GOAT? How you going to be the greatest of all time and you only here for a vapor of a second? Life is, you here for this. You understand what I'm saying? People who we think are great will not even be known, right? Half the stuff we wear now, like, brand names we wear now, are people that we never seen, right? Only the name has a meaning, not a relationship. You missed it. You missed it. Only the name has a... I just want to wear the name because the name makes me look good. I don't actually know who this is, right? One of the major ones that is considered a luxury brand used to be owned by a family. Now no one in the family has a tie to it. I'm going to keep it Gucci. Oh, you understand what I'm saying? But now, it used to belong to something, but now it doesn't. Isn't that kind of crazy? How things named after the Lord used to belong to him. Now it just has his name on them. But there's no relationship. Just because his name's on the outside of the building doesn't mean that he's there. Let me go back to what I was talking about. But that comparison is destructive, it's depreciative, and divisive at the same time. Watch this, because covetousness will surface when it's been sown long enough. Did y'all catch that? I say covetousness will surface when it's been sown long enough. You may not know for years. You may not know for years, and somebody really looking at you kind of slanted. Hey, sis. Hey, bro. Looking good today, sis. Looking good today, bro. Wasteful joker. Hey! Just as fake as you want to be. I'll imagine how many times that joker dapped up his brother. Hey, bro, how you doing, man? I know he gonna blow it. Hey, man, you good? You good? I ain't heard from you for a while. Yo, how Porky doing? Some of y'all. Have you been by the Piggly Wiggly recently? I heard that was your spot. Just shady. Anyway, but that's your brother. Anyway, let me come back over here. That's supposed to be your brother, though. Makes no sense. But again, covetousness will surface when it's been sown long enough. Furthermore, outwardly, the perennial son appears to be mature, does he not? Because he hasn't wasted what his father's given him. He's been serving. He's surrendered. I've been here the whole time, and I've never been celebrated. Oh, look at him. He appears to be mature. Here's the thing. False maturity produces immature behavior. Let me say it again. False maturity produces immature behavior. Let me say it like this. He was field tripping. He was throwing tenured tantrums. See, when we think of a child, we think of temper tantrums. But see, some of these seasoned saints or people that's been in the way a long time, they just be throwing tenured tantrums. Every time somebody, I can't believe that pastor acknowledged them. How they gonna let them serve? Boy, you better come all the way over here. How you gonna let them come back? Do you know what they've done? You gonna let them serve in the church? Yeah. Just like your nasty behind serving. Right? Smiling at the door. Right? Ooh, welcome to our service. We're so glad to have you here. Did you see what this joker had on? I can't believe her. Now she know better than that. She know she too skinny to be wearing that. He know he too fat to be wearing that. But I'm just saying, we do the craziest stuff and then call it love. Well, at least the perennial son, he up fright about his. He's like, look, this joke out here, you know, this one out here in harlotry and stuff. You made a feast for him? You made a big deal about this one? We celebrating him? It's repulsive. Here's a warning. Revulsion resists rejoicing. Let me say it again. Revulsion resists rejoicing. The perennial's resentment is further revealed by his refusal to enter the feast. Let's go here because I need a fix for it. Romans 12:15. Text says this: rejoice with those who rejoice, and weep with those who weep. So we need to operate in empathy and sympathy. That's how that thing works, right? And we need to watch this. This is alignment at work. Because I'm not talking about aligning with people about a sinful nature or nothing like that. I'm talking about aligning with them like, hey, they done made their way back. So before you start thinking about, oh, they're going to be going again, before that happens, can we just celebrate them to where they've got at this stage? Because maybe this time they won't go back. Maybe this time they won't be wasteful. Maybe this time they actually start building and doing the things of the Father. Come on. Maybe we ought to have enough grace to give somebody else a chance. Because we got one. Maybe we can actually operate in grace for grace, right? The same grace I want, I should give. Right? The same forgiveness I want, I should give. The same mercy I want, I should give. Right? Because maybe it's not your brethren, but it's been somebody that we look at slanted because of how our perception of how they operate. But again, I have to pose a thing. If you don't think people change, explain your daggone self. Please make that make sense. Because when you say things like that, you are acting as if the Father, I don't think we know how dangerous some of this stuff is. You are acting as if the Father cannot redeem. So you are saying that like people are irredeemable, that they can't recover, that they can't. So why are we praying for sinners, but slandering our brothers? It just, somebody say, make it make sense. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 12. 1 Corinthians 12:26 says this, and if one member suffers, hello, body. And if one member suffers, all the members suffer with it. If we were actually together, we would have felt the pain of the prodigal on his way back. On his way out, we would have, anyway, all members suffer with it. Or if one member is honored, all members rejoice with it. So this is the member, watch this, who is receiving honor. We need to be able to rejoice with it because that's what the body should do. Somebody say same body. Somebody say same Father. Say shared sonship. That's hard to say, I know. Trust me. I know there was a side note that y'all didn't need, but anyway, it just made the most sense to me. Same body, same Father. So if you claim to be a part of this body of Christ, If you claim to be sons of the Most High God, if you have received the spirit of adoption whereby you cry, Abba, Father, it doesn't matter how raggedy you think your brethren is. You came from somewhere raggedy too. And truth be told, if your attitude like that, you're still raggedy. Does that make, are you understanding what I'm saying? So before we get to doing that thing where we be like, I can't believe so-and-so, man, better look in that mirror. Take a look at yourself and understand how you're really operating. You're operating like a Pharisee. You know what the Pharisees' problem was? The Pharisees' problem is they had an issue with the son. Y'all missed it. When the son came, they had an issue with the son, watch this, who was innocent. So you think it's only going to be a problem with the sons who got faults? Watch this, Pharisees have issues with sons who have no fault. Are you who you say you are? They accuse the son of blasphemy. All because the son knew who and whose he were, and they just thought that they knew. You know, because we are of Abraham. This one passage, they just outright lying. This is why I say Pharisees can't see themselves. Self-righteous people can't see themselves. These jokers say in the passage that, I believe it's in John as well, but these jokers say in the passage that we've never been in bondage. What? We are sons of Abraham. We've never been in bondage. Jesus is like, man, if you've been in sin, you've been in bondage. But let me remind you of your history. Exodus? We've never been in bondage. Babylon? No? Don't ring a bell? Never, huh? Because you can't, when you can't see yourself, you can't do it. I would never do that. Okay, let's go through your files and see what you would never do. Oh, but I've changed. But people don't change. See how it doesn't work? I used to be nasty. I wouldn't say used to right now. Say I'm a work in progress. I'm talking about what I'm talking about. Look, I ain't Steve, and I ain't going to sit up here and lay down while y'all throw stones at me. I'm telling you right now. I might ask for forgiveness while I'm running away, but I ain't finna let you hear what I'm saying? And if there is a Paul at the door, he will get bum rushed. You understand what I'm saying? Consider this. Don't let field frustrations cultivate feast negation. Let me say it again. Don't let field frustrations cultivate feast negation. Here it is that the perennial son finds himself at odds with the feast that the father is holding, and moreover, who he's holding it for. He's grown bitter. Somebody say he's grown bitter. He's been in the field of his father, growing bitter. He's been in the field of his father. It makes no sense to be in the father's field, growing bitter. Now watch this. When the other son was in the foreigner's field, it makes sense for him to consider fellowship, given his situation. But why weren't you considering fellowship, given your situation? And I can tell you why he was rejecting fellowship with his father, because he refuses to go into the feast. Because who in there? Who they celebrating? I'll be right here. Anyway, here it is. It's the Feast of Restoration. And the perennial son wants no part of it. The truth is, he needs restoration too. The truth is, he also needs to reconcile with his prodigal brother. Let me get Luke 15, 31 and 32 real quick. Get to Father speaking again. She was teaching, he says, and he said to him, son, you are always with me. You're always with me, and all that I have is yours. It was right that we should make merry and be glad, for your brother was dead and is alive again, and was lost and is found. If you cannot celebrate the found, I don't understand what's going on with you. I actually do know what's going on with you. You've been in the field of bitterness, growing resentful, growing judgmental, growing self-righteous, growing prideful, growing all like a Pharisee and things. Let's close this thing. Recalibration is set with the Father's reason. Recalibration is set with the Father's reason. The Father gracefully begins to restructure the perennial's posture. He says, son, you're always with me, and all that I have is yours. Furthermore, the feast is warranted. Here's the thing that I don't know if we get. Not only was the feast warranted, it was the Father's will. There's another passage of scripture that says that, watch this, the shepherd will leave the 99 to save the one. And will celebrate the one that was lost. The problem with some of the 99 is they be like, you celebrating over that? He keep hopping the fence. You keep bringing him back. He hopped the fence. You bring him back. You hop the fence. You bring him back. How many times you going to forgive him? You ought to know that equation, believer. I just can't forgive but want to be forgiven. And then I know that we associate, sometimes people say forgive and forget. That's not really biblical, right? Like that. But here's the thing that the Most High does do. He does choose to blot out your iniquity. So watch that. He chooses to. It's not that he doesn't know. He knows everything, but he chooses to. And some of us, watch this, will look how we're supposed to look to each other if we would do the same thing. I know what you've done, but I'm going to blot that out. Because some of us can't see people, we only see offense. Boy, it's told, boy, I feel the tension. You know what I'm saying? No, you have the right to tension in this. Hey, you talk about my business. No, I'm talking about a foul spirit that's grown in a field of bitterness. Whatever it is that they did, I promise you, you've done sin too. However they hurt you, I promise you, you've hurt someone too. However they've disappointed you, I promise you, you've disappointed somebody too. Watch this. All your undue expectations for them, I promise you, it's been practiced the other way around. Because some of us aggravated and we didn't even tell people how to act in the first place. Anyway, I'm getting way too close now. I'm getting way too close now. You hear what I'm saying? Here it is. I'm about to close, but here it is that this perennial brother looks at this prodigal son. The perennial looks at the prodigal like he's messed up. Ain't this the one that was out there with harlots? Ain't this the one that out there that wasted what you gave him? Look, I still have what you gave me. I've been here. The problem is you've been close and far at the same time. Right? Because again, being around and being aligned are not the same. Somebody say they're not the same. So watch this. We don't need to be around this word. We need to be aligned to the word. And some of us have been around the word, but we've not been aligned to the word. And we can tell everybody about the word without being aligned to it. Ain't that something? We'll talk about like we're not in law, but we want to hold everybody's feet to the Father. You know what that is? Legalism. It's graceless. Okay. Hey, make sure I get out this side door right here. It's a little tense in here. But are you hearing what I'm saying? The feast was warranted, but the Father's will, I don't think we understand. Watch this. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to be graceful with this one, but I got to say it the way it is. It don't matter how you feel about it. Well, I don't feel. That's your problem. Pharisee. I rebuke that Pharisaical spirit. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That's your issue. I don't feel. That's the perennial son issue. It ain't your issue. I'm talking about him. Right? Because I need you to think about somebody else that act like this. Wow. Now, don't you see? Don't you? You stay out that mirror now, all right? We ain't talking about you. We talk about the perennial son. The truth is, both sons required recalibration. The younger son distanced himself physically and behaviorally, if we want to be honest about it, right? He started behaving distant than what his father taught him. The older son distanced himself emotionally because he felt some type of way. I don't feel like y'all should celebrate him, especially since I've never been celebrated. I don't feel like you should receive him again. You're really practicing unforgiveness right now. Both grew distant. It's just one grew distant in a foreign field. The other one grew distant in his father's field. I need to say that one more time. I say one grew distance. Do you feel the weight of that? I say one grew distance in the foreigner's field. That makes sense. But how are you growing distant in the father's field? Because you've been around, not aligned. We've been around. I don't even want to point no fingers. We've been around, not aligned. Because it applies to me too. Both grew distant. Both were faulty in the field. Again, distance takes on multiple forms. We just don't see it that way. Bottom line is, the father wants both sons at his feast. The truth is, the father wants both sons in his presence. You understand what I'm saying? The prodigal and the Pharisee, perennial. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Yes. The father is willing and able to recover sons to sonship. Is anybody grateful that the father saw you coming from the distance? Now, some of us got to really be grateful that he saw us in the distance when we were standing right outside the house. We were standing right outside the house, growing in a field of bitterness. I want to give you a message entitlement. Forsake the bitter field. Forsake the bitter field. We've got to stop letting covetousness be under the surface of what's really going on. Bible says if you have an issue with your brother, you should go to them. We don't go to our brethren. We go to people who are already on our side. We go to people, watch this, we go to people who we know we can recruit. That's what some of us do inside of our own families. You've seen it, been a part of it, or done it yourself. Let there be an issue in the family. You're going to have people that rally around the drunkard. You're going to have people that rally around the saint. And the two should never meet. Instead of being like, you know what? Yeah, he is wasteful. Yeah, he did do that, but he's trying to get better now. Right? Meanwhile, you've been here looking at everybody as if you're better than them. When the truth is, you're not better. You're not more better. You more bitter. You know what? People in sin, they don't really, like, people in sin, it don't seem to me like they be as bitter as some of us be. Right? Real quick, anybody ever had a different alternative lifestyle? Isn't the issue, isn't it somehow like we could make jokes about each other, but them folks will help you through anything. Right? Be ready to fight you, but we'll fight about you in a heartbeat. Right? Be ready to fight you in a minute, but we'll fight anybody. Like I can fight him, but you can't. Right? We can fight because that's what brothers do from time to time. We fight each other. But you ain't finna, what you're not finna do. But somehow, in the house of God, there's this division that happens. between those who understand they still need redemption and the ones who are self-righteous. It's the same principle as though the servant who was in debt and was forgiven his debt. And the Bible says that he went and found his brother who owed him. How did you get free and find somebody who owed you? That's the parable. How is it that there's so many of these things, it was hard for me to really just push it here, but I'll say this one that crossed my mind. Isn't the issue that when we have a perception of the Father's favor, what we'll do to our brothers? Joseph had his father's favor. And unlike these Pharisees who can't remember they were ever in bondage because they don't remember that the brothers threw their brother into bondage. Oh, that's what happened. It's the brothers. It's not the heathens. Watch this. It's brethren with the same father. But they can't see this brethren because the perception of his favor. Little did they know that brother's going to bless everybody. Huh? But because they can't see it. Oh, he think that he's special. Because he is. He think that he's somebody. Well, because he is. And it's not that you're not, but you can't see where you are. Because the Father's like, hey, everything I have is yours. All of y'all are mine. This one's selected to do this. Right? Let me finish the Joseph thing real quick. How many of us with our arrogant self would receive a prophecy? I see it all on you now. Just bear with me. I see it all on you right now. I see it all over you right now. The Most High is calling you to be in second place. No, come on, lift your hands and receive it. I said, lift your hands and receive it. I said, I see it. The Most High is calling you to be in second place. You would have been like, that is not the Lord. He has called me to be the head, not the tail. He has called me to be the lender, not the borrower. But that's Joseph's place. Second to Pharaoh. Am I right about it? Am I right about it? But if most of us would have heard that with our arrogant and self-righteous self, I know that it's not the place for me. You must be talking to... No. I'm talking about your brother. But if we wallow in the bitter field, we're no better than the one who's in the foreign field. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Somebody say, forsake the bitter field. Get out of that place. Somebody say, get in the house. Get back in the Father's house. It doesn't matter who's in there. It's the Father's house. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Y'all receive that? Give the Lord praise right there.